That's all the skill, but I do it anyway. But hey,
and you do a great job too, Ray.
Oh, as you can imagine, we were just sort of filling time as the players were getting ready. And Fino, speaking of which, I believe is sat in a room that is very close or in Germany as he is getting ready to play in a tournament literally tomorrow. So he might be a little bit tired from prep, but he's not going to mess around.
Yeah, I mean, you said before, I think when we started the series, you said you're curious as to how Greece is going to cope when their star player, Fino, is so busy participating in tournament after tournament. Oh, he's taken the L already. We're done here.
Yeah, and this is just a glimpse into what Fino's stream looks like. In terms of, it's not that Fino's overly salty in any way. I feel like he's just very honest about what he thinks his chances are in any given game. He'll just be like, oh, okay, I guess I lose. And there's a lot of players that are like that. Say if this was a ladder game, if the first 3 turns didn't look great, they'd probably just concede and just be like, let's get into the next game. You already see that in a tournament game because if there's a chance you can win, you play to that chance, which is why we see some control matchups, even though one-sided, get played out quite long.
Yeah. But
in this one, this ain't going to be a long game. I'll be pretty surprised if it is.
Well, I mean, Fino's saying he's taking the L there, but he's got Firefly in his opening hand, which is one of the better cards to contest with an odd Paladin board. 1/2s do trade quite favorably with 1/1s, it's fair to say.
I think the issue is the buff dagger is worse against Paladin because you don't need the extra attack.
Yep.
And Firefly gets beaten by 1 hero power from Brazil.
Yep.
And what else is he doing after Firefly? Flame Elemental gets beaten by 1 hero power.
Right.
Void Ripper, awkward.
But I think the way that Greece are going to have to play this in order to maximize against these 1/1s, ooh, hang on a second. Right, I was going to say Firefly, Coin, Flame Elemental, just to put as much health on the board as quickly as possible. Now that he's drawn Cold Blood, I don't think it changes enough. I think the Flame Elemental still has to come down this turn to start making those good trades and to do a better job of setting up a Cold Blood later on. But it has to be tempting to create a 5/2 here.
I don't know. I think hero power Coin Cold Blood next turn looks incredible.
Oh, okay.
You can see Fino talking to his teammates, of course, but they're going to go for the Firefly just to get it down. And there was the option of just getting that hero power up and the Cold Blood to push damage, but I think with this hand, Fino's more bothered about protecting the board.
Yeah,
he wants to get this Fungomancer down.
This is the best long-term setup for a stable Cold Blood. The only problem is they need to draw another 1-mana card to set up that Cold Blood now. Hero powering, as you pointed out, doesn't really do all that much against the Paladin. However, trade 1 minion, hero power down the other. Fino is able to take a stable control of the board, and now picking up the Deadly Poison means that he will have a card to combo into Cold Blood if he needs it.
I wonder if he actually daggers and doesn't swing it this turn.
Okay, because of the Deadly Poison draw, I can...
Depends how much value you want to get out here. It's such a scrappy game that you often just can't afford to. But it always is just worth considering is, can you just turn the corner and just actually just completely blow them out by doing a stupid amount of unexpected damage, which is one thing Odd Rogue does better than Paladin. But again, like I said, it's a very scrappy game, and if you can hold the board, then you can hold the win. And also hold the W.
I mean, Fino's already admitted to taking the L, so...
Let me think.
It's just not looking like a great turn for Brazil. If he goes with the Stonehill Defender, which might look like the most tempting here, it just dies to the Deadly Poison, and then Cold Blood will buff up the Firefly and turn it into a 5/2, and will start dealing damage immediately.
I don't think there's anything too wrong with hero power and Arcus this turn.
Yeah. The only issue with that is that the weapon deals with the Atros Veteran, the 2 minions trade with the 2 1/1s, and Fino is still ahead on the board.
With a 1/1 though, right?
Yeah, but he can also drop a 3-mana minion. A Hench Clown Thug, for example, would be disastrous.
Right, but I think you want to work towards the Corridor Creeper anyway that you have in hand. So
yeah,
that's like 4 minions dead, so it becomes a 1-mana Corridor Creeper plus either weapon, either Stonehill or hero power next turn. So I think this is just the best. It gives you the most attacks, and we mentioned one of the best things about Paladin this matchup is Rogue normally can't make as many attacks. Like, there was an empty board, and now Fino has to make both his minions and his weapon swing just to even it out.
Yeah, you're right. I think the Corridor Creeper was the tipping point last turn. Stealthy Deckhand's a really interesting draw. These early turns are so complicated in these aggro matchups. They completely decide the game. Because Fino could just use all 3 1-mana cards this turn, but...
You could also triple trade and then play the Void Terror. Gets a 3-2 and a 1-1 still on the board. Like, sorry, 3-3 and a 1-1 on the board. Going into turn 4. I don't think I like using the Deckhand. You have Cold Blood. So you have Deckhand as an activator. Also, it's just removal that you don't need to use this turn.
I mean, straight up trade and play the Void Ripper, I guess, is the baseline play. The first one they'd have looked at. I'm going to go with the Dagger up instead. Yeah, and going to squeeze the Deckhand in because it kind of gets free roam to the face and sets up an extra potential trade for Greece next turn. Also, Void Rippering the Deckhand next turn will allow it to make a value trade with a 1-1.
This Righteous Protect is insane, though.
It's really strong here, and obviously Corridor Creeper can be played as well this turn, and also the Hero Power. So Nev's gonna think carefully about this one, but
might even Weapon, right?
Oh, Weapon, Righteous Protector, and Corridor Creeper?
Yeah. So it's the turn before you're expecting a Valspine at worst anyway. And having Corridor Creeper just on the board, you can play Blessed and Might next turn to take down any of the big guys.
I think it's really difficult to justify not playing the Hero Power, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's just 2 free 1-1s on the board. And it's the Paladin Hero Power that the Rogue really struggles to beat. It's cards the Rogue has an okay job against, but the Hero Power, it just can't keep up.
Yeah, the only issue with this play, it gives the Deckhand an attack. Which means that there is a chance that this Corridor Creeper just dies. I guess it means you keep 2 1-1s on the board in most circumstances, but the Maul doesn't really benefit from having the wide minions as much. But we'll see.
So let's see. Blink Fox, Cold Blood, Firefly, and Weapon goes into the 1-1. Deckhand with Cold Blood can deal with the Corridor Creeper, but that still leaves the 2 1-1s on the board. Fino keeps hovering over the Cold Blood as if he's going to play it first. Could he be considering... Oh! Okay, so Cold Blood on the Firefly, then play Void Ripper to flip the attack and health. The Firefly and the Deckhand value trade against the Argent Protector, and the Weapon deals with the Corridor Creeper immediately because it's now a 5-2. That's the play.
Yep, that was pretty good. Got some value from that Void Ripper, which is, on average, probably kind of hard to get in this matchup because it's just a lot of low minions attacking each other, but it's a pretty good value play. And now Brazil have to do something to keep up here and try and get rid of this Void Ripper off the board.
That was a fantastic play, a great use of Void Ripper. As you said, it's difficult to pull that off in this deck, and now they're going to curve into Fungal Mancer. And usually 2 of these minions survive. There is the Maul in hand, as you've been pointing out for the last couple turns, and it looks like it's sort of now or never to play it for Brazil.
It's definitely awkward, isn't it?
Reporting for duty.
Because the issue right now is there is always a minion being left on the board, which is not what you want. Blessed Might is great though for dealing with the bigger minions later on.
Yeah.
Dagger trade, Blink Fox Dagger trade, I guess.
Blink Fox opens up a world of possibilities as well. Avenging Wraths, Consecrations, Spike Rich Steeds even.
Tarim.
Yeah, well, no. You had me for a second there, Raven. I just wanted to agree with you so badly. Oh, all right.
I swear, right, I honestly swear that Blink Fox gets you the card you need way more often than it doesn't. I have lost to some... I played Cube Block today. I was a Cube Block, yeah?
Right.
Built a sweet board. And you know how I got beat?
How?
My opponent Blink Foxed a Godfrey and cleared my board. Like, you know what I mean, though? Like, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, I think Fino's facial expression really told the whole story there. The question is one Consecration enough to swing this matchup, though? When we're talking 2 Vine Cleavers in the hand, that's going to be 4 1/1s every single turn soon.
I mean, I think 2 Vine Cleavers in hand is very bad. You think they're going to be able to have 6 swings and not be dead?
Sure.
That's what worries me right now.
Okay.
You see the pick of the Iron Fur Grizzly. One thing that Odd Rogue does very well is once they get a window, they normally slam it shut in their opponent's face.
Right.
And the Consecrate might get them that window.
Nevs isn't leaving a great board to be consecrated, though. Like, Consecration just deals with 2 minions here, and the weapon deals with a 3rd. However, what else does Fina do this turn? That's what he does. He plays Firefly Fungal Mancer? That doesn't seem good either.
It's probably fine, though, right?
Maybe it's the Firefly turn. This like Firefly, Flame Elemental, Consecration, trade with a Stonehill, and then set up the Fungal Mancer for next turn. Odd Paladin very often can't interact with your board if they have no minions.
Yeah, what this does is plays around level up as well, right? So it just clears off the minions. Level up isn't going to be a live threat, just a threat that could happen next turn regardless.
Yep.
But yeah, this does have some form of stealth in terms of this Fungalmancer. And again, look, this Consecration gets some work done, and suddenly there needs to be a very, very, very good answer.
Fina's gone. Bye, Fino.
Is that enough?
Oh, he's back, he's back.
Maybe just grabbing some refreshments. This Righteous Protector is insane again. I'm just going to say every time I see Righteous Protector in a matchup like this.
It's doing its job. Righteously protecting.
Now this turn can escalate really quickly because Brazil can get off a Righteous Protector, a Corridor Creeper, and an Iron Fur Grizzly all in one turn if a couple of these minions die.
So many
Literally next turn if all 3 of these minions die. It's actually pretty huge. I don't know if Fino can come back from what this turn 8 is going to look like from Neves.
Fino's had a lot of good tools. He's managed to utilize his resources very well this game. And again, the Cold Blood turn with the Void Ripper was particularly exciting, but I don't know, Vine Cleaver is just so powerful, and as you've been saying, Righteous Protector sort of just locks the game down. You can't die, you can't kill me, but I'm going to be swinging forward to the face every turn, and you can't stop that.
Well, look at this now. The Vine Cleaver goes into the 3/4, and then you can just play the Corridor Creeper, the Bear, and the Righteous Protector. Like, what do you know? Fino has a 2/2, Deadly Poison Leroy, and a Vilespine, so they can Vilespine something. But that is just too wide. There's just too much stuff. 2 1/1s from the weapon as well.
Okay, so realistically, how does Greece win this game? They can deadly poison the weapon, hit the weapon into the Iron Fur Grizzly if that gets played, Vilespine away the Righteous Protector, which sounds ridiculous, playing Vilespine on a 1/1, but it looks necessary here. Then next turn with the weapon and the Leroy, that's 10 damage. They also need a Cold Blow or something to finish the job, and one has already been played. So it's still possible for Fino, but Brazil's going to be dealing a lot of damage in the meantime.
Must move quickly.
Yeah, I think what Neves and Team Brazil are doing now is seeing if they can set up 2-turn lethal.
Reporting for duty.
And they have gone with hero power. Not playing the Grizzly and just getting the dudes down on the board. This opens up potentially more damage in the form of Raid Leader, in the form of Level Up. Just all of these like multi-buff cards. Opens up more damage than if you just played the Grizzly.
However... Okay, so Greece can't play around Level Up. If they're going to win the game, they need to forget that card exists. So now again, Deadly Poison, Vilespine Slayer to get rid of that 1/1.
I wonder.
They can push 6 to the face this turn, putting Brazil down to 8. Then Leroy plus the weapon would almost be lethal next turn if not for the Iron Fur Grizzly.
Right.
And they do know there's a Taunt in Brazil's hand as well. Obviously the Grizzly came from Stonehill Defender.
Don't they have to go for it though, right?
Yeah, of course they do. There's still that Cold Blood out. Anything that deals 2 damage actually is out for Fino here.
Needs to be a cheeky Nightblade in the deck.
There's a second Deadly Poison somewhere. There's a second Southie Deckhand. There's 2 copies of SI7 Agent. Yeah, the chances aren't low.
Void Ripper, though. It's 13.
13's not lethal.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I'm just saying it because it's important. It means that Brazil have to make these trades, and
But what is important is they can do enough next turn to set it up right.
Sure.
They have the Grizzly, they have Ripper, they have Hero Powers, they have Lost in the Jungle, and they have another swing of the Divine Cleaver next turn.
and Greece needs 4 damage, not 2 anyway, of
Reporting
course.
for duty.
I trusted you, Fal.
Sorry.
I trusted you.
Because I was looking at the weapon as dealing 2 and dealing 2 for some reason, rather than just dealing 4 once. Anyway, that's not any damage, so it doesn't seem to matter. And Brazil have locked this one out.
Yeah, they have to Leroy one of the mins if they want to live. One of the benefits is there are no little dragons. They're going to come down from the Leroy being played. So they do save some damage, but there is Divine Cleaver in hand that we can see was exactly 12 on board. Leroy saves them 3, would put them to 9. 3 off lethal, but we can see 4 in the hand. So it looks like Brazil is going to take it in a very close matchup. Some cool little plays going on there, but we see again just too wide. There was just too many things. The Leroy went into a 3-3, and in a lot of decks, it would take out a 6 attack minion or a 5 attack minion, but the minions are just too far spread out, and that is going to be the game. And Brazil take it over Greece, 3-1.
Yeah, Afino playing to every single outlet he could, but the deck was clearly not built to beat Paladin. And Brazil take this one down, looking good.